It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
Hello, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am Lupica with a real snazzy looking One Bar tonight.
Thank you. Corduroy.
Is it cold?
I'm all corduroyed up. No, I just figured I'd dress up for the occasion.
I used to run in corduroy pants. It would squeak when I was like in first grade.
That sounds like chapped ass to me.
All right, today we're going to talk about players the Vikings could regret cutting. Cut day is coming up Saturday. We already released 4 or 5 guys. We could do it tomorrow. Who knows when they're going to come? But these are guys the Vikings might try to sneak through waivers, and they might get snapped up, and the Vikings will be like, oh, shit, why did we do that?
Yeah, remember when they cut Justin Coleman?
Yeah.
Coleman. Not Justin Coleman. What the hell was his name?
They cut Kurt Coleman, who turned out to be the freaking greatest safety ever, but they cut the cornerback.
I'm going to look it up. Keep going.
Well, all right. Anyway, we're going to talk about guys the Vikings may have to release, but they may not make it to the practice squad. Guys they're going to regret cutting. I'm going to start it off with a wide receiver who I do not think is going to make the team. He got all the hype after the draft, and they went out and signed him. Your vid of this guy got one of the most views we've ever had. Courtney Davis, there hasn't been a sniff about him. Gary Kubiak was on today in his presser. He mentioned 6 receivers, didn't say anything about Courtney Davis. He mentioned Dan Chisena, did not mention Courtney Davis. Here's the thing with Courtney Davis. Good frame, 6'2", 200-something pounds. He can make things happen after the catch. He's not a burner, but nice big target. He's a guy you want to kind of stick around, but, man, if you cannot I don't know if he's going to clear waivers.
Well, and before we get it was Justin Coleman. Just to be very clear, Justin Coleman, the cornerback. There was a Kurt Coleman. Anyways, Courtney Davis, everybody loves the story of an undrafted free agent. Everybody loves that guy in the draft that was supposed to go in maybe round 5. And we love those guys. And all of a sudden they get undrafted and we snap them up. Courtney Davis was that guy. So there's those guys every single year, and we just happen to get them. And you're right. He's done jack shit. He has not done really anything. You haven't heard his name mentioned at all. So it must be for a reason. It's not like our receivers are completely stacked at the back end. So if he's not making a push to make this team, then it is what it is. He obviously has talent.
Well, and here's why the Vikings could regret it is because, he gets picked up by somebody else. Maybe a team needs a wide receiver. He gets thrown in the mix. He catches 30 balls for 400 yards, a couple scores as a rookie, and all of a sudden you're kicking yourself thinking, why the hell do we let this guy go?
Well, yeah, and Hollins has not made it easy on him. KJ Osborne, the fact that he is a return guy has not made it easy on him. So he's got a tough road ahead of him to make this team, and all signs point to him not making this team. Obviously, we're hoping that he squeaks onto our practice squad, but he does have the talent where I could see some shit team just snapping him up and holding him for a year or two.
Squeaks on like a pair of corduroy pants.
Weak. But yes, Courtney Davis, when he does get cut, and it will happen, hearts will break across Minnesota.
All right, let's go to a veteran. Let's move this discussion away from rookies for a minute. Let's go to a veteran who might get the axe, and that's running back, special team ace, Amir Abdullah.
Oh, man. And you nailed it in the second part, special teams ace. We lost Jaron Curse. Our special teamers are not – we don't have that guy, and Abdullah was him last year. So losing him will hurt, obviously not at the running back position or the return game. He didn't bring much, but that's going to hurt more than people probably think.
Well, and here's the thing. You look at the roster now, there's a bunch of guys who can be good gunners. I mean, Chris Boyd's right up there with Abdullah in my book as far as a gunner goes. But Josh Metellus, Stephen Parker, I think there's a lot of Troy Dye. There's a lot of guys on this team now who could be great gunners, who could fill that Amir Abdullah role. I think you're cutting him a little bit short, too, as far as an emergency running back. I mean, he can come in there, catch a swing pass. He can take it 40 yards. I mean, he's got good burst. He's got good speed. But I just think when it comes down to it, he's going to be a guy who the team is going to say, we don't want to cut you, but we have to. But 3 weeks down the road, I'm thinking, God damn it, why did we cut this guy?
Yeah, somebody will pick him up and he'll rush for 1,700 yards and 48,000 fumbles.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Who would have thought Amir Abdullah's claim to fame would be his special teams after being drafted in round 2 by the Lions?
I think it was round 2, yeah, and round 1 by me in fantasy football.
Hell yeah, what a player! So yeah, it's going to be tough to see the Vikings keep 4 running backs on top of C.J. Ham. When you look at receiver, you look at defensive line and corner. There's just other pressing needs. So I think we're going to lose him.
Yeah, it's going to be a cut that I don't think they're going to want to make, and it could definitely come back to bite him in the ass because he will land somewhere. All right, let's talk another one. Let's go back to the rookies. Cornerback Harrison Hand has been very quiet. Why would the Vikings maybe regret this move if they cut him?
I mean, we talked about Abdullah. I mean, when he was drafted in round 5, the intrigue of him being a special team stallion right off the bat, the intrigue of him playing corner safety. The Vikings haven't even put him at safety yet, so that's concerning right there. Our cornerbacks are fairly stacked, but Harrison Hand has the versatility to just be maybe not a starter in this league, but very, very good and add very good depth. And I think long-term, he is going to be a good player in the league. I just don't think we have room for him right now.
Yeah, hopefully he's a guy who sneaks through waivers and makes it in the practice squad because I do think he's got plenty of upside. He's Temple tough, like they kept saying during the draft. He's Temple tough. But I don't think there's anything else to add. I mean, you really covered that well. I'm going to call you the second coat of paint.
Oh, wow. Call me the primer.
Wow. All right, let's move on to another veteran, Tasha Sharp. If the Vikings let this guy go, why would they regret it? Maybe by week 6.
I've said it in the last podcast. It's just we got a very young group of receivers. Tasha Sharp, no, he's not this old man, but he's been in the league for a handful of years. He brings that veteran presence. That's what I like about him. If we get rid of him, all we got is Dillon as far as old man.
Yeah, I mean, the second oldest man would be B.C. Johnson at that point. So I think he does add a little bit of value as that seasoned veteran. He's only 25 or 26, but he's been in the league for like 4 or 5 years. He's been around. He's been on run-heavy offenses. So he's not going to be a guy who's going to make a lot of noise if he's not getting more than, 4 or 5 targets a game. So having that guy who's been there, he's been through a lot. He's been on some good teams.
Titans?
Yeah. What? Yeah, they were good last year.
I don't count that. I think he's a guy that you can feel good about putting him in as a 3rd, 4th receiver. He's going to make plays. Remember his rookie year, his first game against the Vikings? He ripped us up.
Yeah.
Like 7 catch. I picked him up in fantasy immediately.
Yeah.
And he had that good
about it.
He had that good rookie year, but he really didn't do a ton after that. Maybe it's because the Tennessee Titans offense wasn't overly great. But he's just a guy that makes you feel good having at the end of the depth chart, opposed to just a Hollins or a KJ Osborne that you don't know what you got.
And that's the worry. You let him go, and you let's say you have BC is number 2, Jefferson number 3, Hollins number 4, Osborne number 5. Someone gets hurt, and you're pulling up like a Courtney Davis from the practice squad, somebody who comes in even rawer. You think, shit, you should have kept the veteran.
Maybe they pull up Dan Chisena.
Yeah, he could play safety. He might not know where he's playing at this point. He doesn't know who he is anymore. All right. Let's hit one more veteran here. Tight end Brandon Dillon. Why would the Vikings regret this if they cut him?
Boy, Brandon Dillon's kind of your boy, so I'm not going to be very nice on this one. I don't see them regretting a ton. I mean, he's more of the athletic receiving type tight end where, I don't know. We're going to keep 3 tight ends. Konkadonk has just had a fantastic camp, making it hard for Dillon. Dillon's a guy who can go out there, stretch the field, make plays. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't care if they cut him.
I think your problem is you keep mixing him up with Tom Dillon, and that's your problem. But Brandon Dillon, here's my thing. It's not something that's going to happen immediately. I'm talking 2 or 3 years down the road where all of a sudden Brandon Dillon becomes the next great receiving tight end on whatever team he lands on. Let's say it's the Patriots or some shit where he's catching 50, 60 balls a year, and you're thinking, shit, why the hell do we let this guy go? I think he has that potential if he can ever get in the right spot to be a real great threat as a receiver. But it's more of a potential thing, and it's not going to be an immediate. You're not going to kick yourself for letting him go.
He does have a lot of potential. I'll give him that. He's shown flashes last year, especially in training camp preseason. He looked damn good. But I will admit that you appear to be his president of his fan club. So I think you will take this the hardest out of anybody in the state of Minnesota.
No, I think he's going to be on the practice squad, but I do like Brandon Dillon. A lot of upside there. A lot of upside. Last guy, and I think we both like this guy, is guard Kyle Hinton. I don't know. I don't see a spot for him on this roster. Vikings let him go, and he gets picked up by somebody else. I mean, they're going to regret that because I think this guy's got a high ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, his pro day that he had, he ripped shit up. If there would have been a full draft season, a full off season of prospects, he probably would have went in earlier than when he did. He was taken on strictly potential. He's a guy that can pretty much, they've shuffled him all along the offensive line. Not only does he have the versatility to play anywhere, but his potential's through the roof. What did he run? He ran like a 4-something 40. It was just crazy. Very athletic. It's very rare to see that in big guys, and I hate the fact that we're going to have to let him go and possibly let somebody else develop him.
And, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens here because without preseason games and these guys not really getting looks at these other teams very much, everybody seems to kind of be focusing on their own thing. I wonder how many guys we're actually going to see, like, jump ship and move around. That'll be interesting to see what happens here on Saturday. But, you know, I hope there's a lot of guys we are able to keep, are able to get through waivers. And, you know, a guy would have been on this list if we didn't IR him would have been Kenny Willekes.
Ooh, Willie. Well, Kyle Hinton, just to be clear, 34 reps on the bench. He ran a 4.86.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's the one thing we can say is that all the other teams in the league will be going through the same thing where they drafted their guys and they're unfortunately going to have to cut them and they're going to try to bring their own guys back. So that's the only saving grace, I think, when it comes to guys like Courtney Davis, Kyle Hinton, and some of these draft picks.
And let's remember, they bumped that practice squad up to 16 this year, so there's some extra room here.
Ooh, Dan Chisena might even make that thing.
No, Dan Chisena's making the freaking roster.
Hell yeah.
All right, so that's what we got for our players the Vikings could regret cutting. Again, a lot of different reasons why. Some may be immediate, some may not be, but here's one thing you can't cut. The largest penis ever recorded was 13.5 inches long while erect.